All right, everybody, welcome back. We've got a good little episode here. It's just going to be me today, and I thought we'd just kind of focus on two topics here. I figured we'd hit the CNN Syrian prison hoax, and then we'll jump over to Elon Musk and Donald Trump killing the horrible spending bill. Let's start with Syria because all CNN can do is lie. So let's get them with it. This is hilarious. So CNN went into a prison in Syria and decided that they had found some prisoner there in a cell. They set him free and they were going to report on all this. They were going to film it. And however, it was all staged, essentially. It's a hoax. It was all staged. And this prisoner, quote unquote, that they were pretending to free was actually one of the head torturers at this Assad prison. And so let me play some video here for you. This aired live on CNN. So here we go. Just take a listen to this for a minute.
He tells the fighter he's from the city of Homs and has been in the cell for 3 months.
This is them freeing him.
Okay, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. He clutches my arm tightly with both hands. Okay. Does anyone have any water? Water. You're okay. You're okay. We start to walk him outside.
Just to give you guys a little idea what this picture is, they have come across a guy with a perfectly trimmed beard. He's got a pretty nice coat on. He looks like somebody you might have just stumbled across on the streets of New York. Okay. And he's pretending that he was a prisoner who's been kept in a jail cell for 3 months. And these CNN people are just eating it all up, man. And who knows if they were actually in on it? I think they probably were. It's possible that this guy actually just fooled CNN, but more likely they got there and said, hey, it would have been pretty cool if we would have been here and, like freed some of these people ourselves. Yeah, hey, you get in that cell and pretend like you were a prisoner here while we get the cameras rolling. So here we go. Here's the rest of it. So this guy, well kept. He looks, like a normal guy. He claims he hasn't had food or water for 4 days, and he just does not look like a person who's gone several days without food or water. But here we go. They're about to take him outside for the first time in months.
Thank God you are safe. Don't be afraid, the fighter says. You are free. This is the third prison they brought me to, he says. The third prison. After 3 months in a windowless cell, he can finally see the sky.
So that's him walking outside, staring right up at the sun. No reaction at all. 3 months without seeing the sun. Doesn't squint, nothing. Just walks right outside, looks right up at the sky. This shit is so clearly fake. It's so embarrassing that CNN even pretends like people weren't going to notice what happened here. But they are professional liars, and hats off to this, Assad torturer guy. I mean, he is a better actor than I would have thought. He's not a great actor. He could have done a lot better. The CNN anchor lady, great actress. She did a heck of a job. She deserves an Oscar for that one. The Syrian torturer, not great. It's pretty obvious that this one was a hoax, but it's all CNN can do, man. They can't help it. They just gotta lie to you. They just got to do it. And, I know we say it all the time, but when the legacy media finally collapses, CNN actually just goes bankrupt, gets spun off a few times, and people look back and say, oh, man, why did CNN go under? Just add this to the thousands and thousands of items on the list that why people don't trust them at all anymore, because this is a complete hoax. And it was obvious from the beginning. I can't believe how many people at CNN looked at this and just thought, oh yeah, this is good to air. Nobody's going to notice. Who is going to look at this guy and think, man, he wasn't in a prison cell for 3 months. This guy, who's going to believe that, he didn't eat for 3 or 4 days, didn't have any water. We've got him fooled. No problem. We're going to pull a fast one on the American people. But CNN thinks you're stupid. They think their own viewers are stupid. They think that everybody in America, they can just keep lying to them and there'll be no consequences. They haven't even realized they've lost all their power, all their credibility, but they have. And Good. Fuck them. Why not? And on the topic of thinking Americans are stupid, this is a good segue. We're going to jump to our second topic here, which is the spending bill, continuing resolution to keep the government funded through the holidays so Congress could come back in January and actually debate another spending bill. So here's what happens. Is the government will pass a spending bill, and it will fund all the government liabilities up until, let's say, December 25th. We'll just pick that date. And then because all the congressmen and women want to get home for holiday early, they don't want to spend Christmas in session. So they put off another spending bill, put it off. And then finally they get right up against their deadline. Oh, the government's going to run out of money. We need to pass a bill. Quick. And then what everyone does, what all these Congress people do, is they add their own 20 pages of shit they want, all their pet projects and everything. They add it to this bill because they know that everyone's going to vote yes because they all want to go on Christmas holiday early. So you get this bill that was supposed to just fund the government, and it should just be enough to pay all of our soldiers, pay all of the government workers, easy stuff. Keep the lights on. But then every single person knows they can just add a couple $1 billion, a couple $100 million worth of shit here and there, things we don't need. And then all of a sudden this bill becomes a couple $100 billion monstrosity. And we just can't afford it anymore. So Speaker Johnson had promised to be better. He's not really living up to it, to be honest. And he decided that he was going to back this bill, this continuing resolution. And despite it being full of crap, it had a big pay raise, something like a 40% pay raise for House members and senators. It had, let's see, what else did this shitty ass bill have? Here you go. So this was a stopgap bill here. It had $29 billion for FEMA's disaster relief fund, which, FEMA, good thing for sure. $29 billion? Where's all that going? And that $29 billion is just for FEMA's disaster relief fund. There's $110 billion total disaster relief. $8 billion for federal highways, $12 billion for community development block grants. What is a community develop block grant? $12 billion. So essentially what all that money is it's stolen. What that does is they send money to local governments so that they can award them to their friends, to their family, who do, build some park for $20 million. The famous, they wanted to build a public toilet in San Francisco, and they spent like $1.1 million on it. That's all this shit. That's community development block grant money. So it just goes, all that money essentially goes to pay prevailing wages. People, you're going to pay $1 billion for this, 2-acre park. It's crap. It is absolute crap. These community developed block grants, they should be done away with. There's nothing in the Constitution about the federal government developing communities via block grants. That's something states can do. That is something local governments can do. This is the federal government just way overstepping its bounds here. So then you got, let's see, another $3.2 trillion for tribal assistance grants. Who knows what that is? That's probably just stolen money too. Another $10 billion in economic assistance. Here's a good one. RFK Stadium transfer. So this legislation would clear the way for Washington, D.C. to take over RFK Memorial Stadium, which will, and then allow the city to negotiate with the Washington Redskins football team. Awesome. Great. So they're going to build a new stadium in Washington, D.C. They're going to completely pay for the rebuilding of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Okay, whatever. I guess we can get behind that. Big pay raise for lawmakers, and let's see, they only make $174,000 right now. We're going to give them a 40% raise. So poor guys, $174,000. You wonder why they don't relate to us. You wonder why they don't feel the pain inflation has caused with our groceries, rent, etc. It's because they get paid $174,000, and now they're going to get a big increase. So all sorts of just crap they threw in here. All sorts of, let's see, they got healthcare policy they threw in here. What's this? They had a 5-year extension of Medicare, transparency in ticket prices in hotel. I could actually get behind that one. I think they ought to keep that. Markets need transparency to work. Okay. So this bill, just in the disaster relief, before you even get to the stadiums and the bridges and all this other local government, should be local government stuff, $110 billion. So what happened was Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy and Donald Trump kind of got wind that this was going down, that this was going to be passed. This was a terrible bill. And they took to X and said, hey, this is bullshit. Anybody that votes for this, including Republicans, should be primaried. And then Republicans got scared because really they're all in on this too. The congressional Republicans, they don't care. They want their $1 billion for their district, and then they want to get out of there, get off to Christmas. They don't care. They're going to run up the debt. They don't give a shit. They're not going to pay for it. Most of them are just these sick old people, man, never going to live with the consequences of the debt they're running up. They just put it all on the government credit card, no problem. Okay. So Republicans got scared. They said, oh man, we better do something. So allegedly they took this bill from 1,500 pages or whatever it was, dropped it down to just a few hundred, cut a lot of the crap out, and just extended the government for a shorter period until Republicans can, once we get past January 20th, then we'll have the Senate under our control. Donald Trump will be president. It'll be a lot easier to control these big spending bills. But for right now, Republicans have control of the House. We can shut the government down. We don't need to spend all this. And let me just say, with Republicans controlling every branch of government after January 20th, there is not a single reason we should ever pass a spending bill that doesn't balance the budget. We hammered Democrats left and right because they run up the debt. And previously, Republicans have too. It's time for that to end. If Republicans aren't fiscally responsible this time around, after being given a complete mandate, we can never go back to the voters and say again, hey, we're the fiscally responsible party. That just won't be true. If we can't do it now, we will never be able to do it. It's the biggest mandate we've had in decades. And we just better not squander it, man. This Musk and Vivek, these guys are fantastic. Okay, they're keeping everybody honest. I love it. And you should see the liberals are freaking out about it. They're not going to get all their corrupt money. They're not going to be allowed to run up the government credit card anymore. And they are just freaking out about it. And I had this video up. Let me try and pull this up here of this woman. So here's you go. Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro, okay, after Elon Musk shot down this spending bill, or pressured lawmakers into shooting it down, I should say. This is the reaction she had. And this lady, man, if you guys should look her up. Maybe I'll post a picture of her on our social media. If you go on Facebook to the Western Conservative, we'll post her picture. She is a freak, man. She's got purple hair. She's got these huge glasses. I mean, she looks like the villain in some freaky modern cartoon. But here we go. Listen to what she says. This is what she has to say about Republicans putting the kibosh on her, stealing all of the taxpayer money, stealing from our future generations. Here we go.
What does he know? They got scared because President Musk told them. President Musk said, don't do it. Don't do it. Shut the government down. Imagine. What does he know? They got scared.
Imagine being this lady, being some stupid congresswoman who's destroyed our country. Okay, she's been in office for a while, I guess. She's the #1 Democrat on the House Appropriations Committee, which, for you guys that don't know, is a really powerful committee. Okay. She's a freak. She has helped ruin this country. Okay. What are we at? $39 trillion, $36 trillion, something in debt because of people like her. And she's going to sit there and say, President Musk is going to shut down the country. It's because of him that Republicans are scared. Well, you know what? I think every politician should be scared, actually, because they're stealing. They're stealing from us. They're running up all this debt that they have no intention of ever paying back. She looks like she's 70. She's going to be dead before it's a problem. Okay, it's going to be the rest of us that are in our 20s, our 30s that are going to have to figure out how to deal with this. I've said it. I'll say it again. I don't care. We should just come out as a generation, just be like, you know what? All this debt that these old octogenarian, these septuagenarian politicians, whatever debt they run up is their debt, not ours. So whatever they issue, whatever they vote on now, whatever bonds are issued to fund their pet projects, if you ever want that money back when those bonds come due, it's time to dig them up and take your money back from them because we're not fucking paying you. Okay? We're not going to allow them to just steal from us. Okay? If we got to default on the debt, we got to default on the debt. That's what we got to do. Okay. All right, fine. I don't care. That's not our debt. We didn't do it. Okay? It's not our fault that we couldn't vote or that we were too young to hold a lot of these offices when they were ruining this country. It's not on us. Okay? If they want to say, oh, well, we're just going to raise your taxes, pay for it, it's going to be inflation. No, you're not. We're not going to allow it. These people like her are just absolutely the worst, man. Absolutely. Just driven this country into the ground, and it's not theirs to do it too. Okay. These people have no real stake in this country. All they care about is stealing money from the taxpayer so they can line their own pockets. Just like they're all just little miniature versions of the Biden family where they accumulate political power. Okay. They send their kids, their surrogates off to these other countries or to interest groups, get paid shit tons of money. Those surrogates bring the money back, share it with the corrupt politician, okay, in ways that are not easy to track, not easy to prove, but they do it. And then if they ever get caught, what do you know? They get pardons. And then they ride off into the sunset with all the money they stole. It's not their country to do this to. They don't get to do it. And I don't care. These continuing resolutions of, we need to fund, we need our $12 billion of community development block grants. No, you don't. You don't need any of it. Okay? Stop stealing our money. Just running up the debt, man. If our government was like imagine your crazy uncle or your crazy cousin that just buys all this crazy extravagant crap. And, they work part-time for minimum wage and you just look at each other, everyone in the family wonders how the hell they keep buying all this stuff and what hole they're digging themselves into. That's our Congress. But then you find out, that uncle, that cousin's actually just stealing all the money from you, that you're actually funding it. That's our Congress. That's what they do. And Republicans are complicit in it too, man. It's not just the Democrats. 38 Republicans today just voted against the much better bill, the smaller one. It's one that's only a couple hundred pages. 38 Republicans voted against it. Most of them because they want all the pork. They want their couple $100 million for their district so they can go home and brag about it, so they can have their developer cousin be selected for the no bid contract, make a couple $1 million and split it with them. That's what they do. But it looks like there's going to be some accountability. There's hope. There's hope. With Elon, with Vivek, with these people on social media that, some people are using the term bullied. They bullied the congressmen into reneging on this bipartisan bill. Good. Good. We need more bullying of these people then. If that's what it takes to make sure that there's accountability, then that's what we need to do. Good. Call these people out on social media. Post their names. These are the people that are stealing from us. They're an embarrassment, man. All of these people. I mean, here we go. Let's listen to Jerry Nadler right here. He's, big Democrat.
For the Republicans, for President Musk to come in at the last moment and blow up the deal is just intolerable. I mean, you have to negotiate, and you have to be able to enforce what you negotiated. And what was negotiated is a very good deal for the American people, as they will see when they see the details.
He is lying through his teeth. He's another guy who's been in part of Congress for decades. He's helped run up this 39-something billion or trillion dollar debt that we have. He's another one of these old people. He's going to be dead before it matters. Jerry Nadler. He's also one of the people that just lied through his teeth during the Trump impeachments. If you guys don't remember him during COVID, too, he was one of the worst. He's really a truly terrible lawmaker. And he's President Musk. It was we can't enforce this agreed upon bill. You guys are all corrupt together. Of course you all agreed on it. You're just mad you got caught. And now the American people get to look at it. They see it's $110 billion of your pet projects. Yeah, of course the people are upset. And it's not that Elon Musk bullied you guys into stopping it. It's that everybody in America hates you guys. And Elon Musk is just the one with a big enough bullhorn to say it. Here we go. Let's keep listening to Jerry here.
Let's get rid of the debt limit. Let's be done with it. We don't have to go through this. And the reason why they want to lift the debt limit is because they can't get their folks to do it. So they look at this as an opportunity, to do it, and then they can do whatever they want in terms of taxes to the rich and the billionaires, like President Musk. So
Democrats wouldn't support that as part of any spending bill.
So you couldn't really hear that there, but what she's talking about is accusing Republicans of wanting to abolish the debt ceiling, which essentially is just an amount of money that the government is allowed to go into debt that we have to raise every single time we have a spending bill, because we just keep increasing the debt over and over and over again. We can't pay it down. Just interest on our debt is something, it's like 13% of our federal budget. And pretty soon it will be the largest item on the federal budget, just interest on the debt. That doesn't even count paying it down. Just to give you guys an idea of how big these numbers are, let me look up the exact here for you, because I want to get this number right. Okay, yeah, it's 36 trillion. Okay. Yeah, 36 trillion and change. The 39 number's not. It'll be 39 probably by the time you guys are listening to this, but 36 trillion. So to give you an idea, if we were talking about seconds and not dollars, okay, 1 million seconds is 11 days. Okay. You would think it'd be more days actually, but 1 million seconds is only 11 days. Okay, 1 billion seconds, 31 years. Okay. 1 trillion seconds. And again, we're in debt 36 trillion. Okay. But just 1 trillion seconds, it's almost 32,000 years. Okay. Remember, 1 million seconds is 11 days. 1 trillion seconds, 32,000 years. Just to give you an idea of how big our federal budget is. And you know what? Screw it. Let's see, 36 trillion seconds. 36 trillion seconds is 1,141,552 years. Okay. If each dollar was a second, there you go. That's how many years it would be. Absolutely nuts. And these crazy people are just coming out and saying, well, what's another 100 billion? Republicans agreed to it. They negotiated to it. We've got to say this. Let's just eliminate the debt ceiling overall. Why not? We've already run our country completely into the ground. Let's just keep digging. Let's do it. Why not? Absolutely disgusting people, man. These people shouldn't be anywhere near federal office. They should be in prisons. They should have to pay all this back themselves. They voted for it. They should pay it back. Any Republican now in the next 2 years that votes for a spending bill that is not a balanced budget, if it adds to the debt, they should be primaried and kicked out of the Republican Party. You're not really a Republican if you are just going to keep running up our debt. It's now more, our debt is now more than a 1 year's GDP in the United States. GDP being the sum of all goods and services sold in the United States for a year. Our debt is more than that. I don't know how we're going to dig ourselves out of this hole. Really high taxes, really high inflation, or we're just going to default on it. I don't know. There's no good answers here. I wish I had a good answer for you, but I do still think that there's hope though, because every time we just throw an absolute fit, we get absolutely outraged when they try and pass one of these just omnibus 1,500 page bills. And by the way, they only had like 19 hours to review this 1,500 page bill. That's ridiculous, man. But every time we bully them out of passing things like this, we put ourselves in a better situation, put our kids in a better situation, our grandkids, etc. Our country is much better for what Elon and Vivek did, much better for what Trump did. Any amount of money we can save is good. And every time we put these Republican and Democrat politicians on notice that we're watching the crap that they do, it's a net good thing. They should be worried about it. They should be worried about getting primary. They should be worried about getting kicked out of office. They should be worried about it. But it's a good thing. I think we're trending in the right direction, though. I think we're going to be okay. The debt is not so big right now that we couldn't handle it. If we started today paying it down, we could do it. We could make it manageable, especially with Trump as president. I think that we can grow our economy relative to the debt, which will help us pay it down as well. I think we're going to be okay. But we got to keep on it. We got to keep on them like this because the Republicans, they'll stab us in the back the first second they get. As soon as they can get a couple $100 million for their district, they'll do it, man. They'll stab us right in the back. Abandon all their principles, they'll do it. 38 of them did today. But let's keep on them. We keep calling congressmen. We keep being outraged on social media. We keep voting the way we need to. They'll get the point. These freaky liberals, man, with their purple hair, they'll get the point. They just need to be locked out of power for long enough. Republicans, we need to hold them accountable too. We'll be all right here. I think we're gonna get this paid down. We're gonna be okay. We'll stop all the foreign wars, all that crap. Stop all these huge, ridiculous spending bills, and we're gonna be just fine. All right, guys. Thanks for listening today.